After almost a 30% dip in the last 4 days, markets are paralyzed. People a little confused what Bitcoin is going to do next as it tests very key trend lines. In this video, I'm going to break it down for you on the micro and macro, and this is exactly what you need to be prepared for. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Capital Venture. Hit that like and subscribe on the way in. It means a lot to me. Smash that like button. Let's go. Let's jump into the Bitcoin video. So I'm not going to show a clip. This was from just 2 days ago. This was Bitcoin trading above 38,000. We talked about this green channel of support for Bitcoin, and you know what has transpired if you've been watching. Bitcoin has essentially hit that support, right? And that support was a swing low back here, January 4th, to swing high, and we got the bounce, right? So we made the move. The move happened. That's good. When I did the video, we were up around here, I guess. We came down, we tested the Fibonacci support, and we got a bounce. So right now, all is good. All is just chilling for Bitcoin. But that doesn't mean we're out of the woods just yet, right? This right now is a very solid swing low, healthy consolidation for Bitcoin. But we need to make sure this doesn't turn into this lower low that we get continuation to another lower low, and that's in play. And I want to talk about that in this video. There's a lot of different things in play, which is why up here in your mind, you need to be prepared. This is all mental, everybody. That's all this is. This is nothing more than mental. So what has transpired is we got that support, and it's a very similar thing that just happened, and this was back in this consolidation area. You see back here, this was what, January 1st, around 28,000. We got a breakout to a swing high January 3rd, and then we got like a 20% dip, crazy dip. You can see this wick going right through a similar Fibonacci support area, right? At that time, that was a good move for Bitcoin. So Bitcoin bounced off that area actually a couple times. You can see it back there, and then continue to the upside. So picture perfect, we'd be watching for Bitcoin to do something similar. So that swing low there to our previous swing high, the current Fibonacci support area we're talking about, and Bitcoin can test that a couple times. It's already tested it once, and it's actually just tested it twice in recent hours, literally just testing the 618 line right here. So we're getting a very similar move. And if you actually look at these two moves, you can see, if I zoom in just a little bit here, Bitcoin actually put in a low, put in a higher low, and then right now Bitcoin put in a low, and now it's put in a higher low. We're on pace. We are on pace. All I talk is tech. Thanks for the $4.99 super chat. I'd argue it's more risky to not be in Bitcoin due to the app, the money printing and corruption. Due to money printing and corruption. I pretty much agree. Love the videos, he says. Thanks, All I Talk is Tech. I appreciate it. It's good to see you here, dude. By the way, he has his own YouTube channel. Go subscribe to All I Talk is Tech. So let's continue. Bitcoin, going over here, let's talk about what structure looks like for Bitcoin right now. This is when I opened this video, I talked about markets are paralyzed, markets are confused, and this is kind of why. Because yeah, we have the bounce off of key support. That's good. This is the first step. But then we have some things happening, transpiring on different time scales, and it gets a little confusing because you're like, "Ooh, there's a bullish setup. Oh, there's a bearish setup. You know, what is Bitcoin going to do?" So let's break these down. What will structure look like? We're going to answer that question right now. Let's first talk about this head and shoulders with a $25,000 target. It's there. It's literally playing out on the screen potentially right now with this rising neckline. So there's a left shoulder, here's a head, and here's a potential right shoulder, right? Now, just because we have this quick wick to the trend line there doesn't mean that the right shoulder completed. It could have, right? But Bitcoin can kind of put in the left shoulder, head, trickle up to this very key area I want to talk about in a second, and then come back down. And this is like a setup we need to be very careful for Bitcoin. Now, I want to explain something to you. Head and shoulders. You hear about it all the time, right? Everybody's always talking about head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders. What is it? And really, it's just a battle of bears and bulls. That's really all it is. So a head and shoulders is the bulls, they make a push for it, an initial push for it. It's a swing high. That's what it is. It's a left shoulder swing high. The bears step in. They kind of put in some rejection. They say, no way. The bulls step back in. Buying pressure ensues. We get a higher high, right? We get a move to the upside. The bears say, no, we're coming back down. We're testing another swing low, right? That would be the head formation. The bulls say, no, we're doing this, dude, right? Coming back up. We're putting in a high, but it's not a higher high. Now it's a lower high. And the bulls start kind of losing steam. They're failing a little bit. And then the bears come in at that lower high and they say, no, rejection to a neckline. And then that's the setup for the head and shoulders. And really, it's just the momentum of the bulls kind of fading away. And that's potentially in play right now. And you truly have to be ready for that. And so if this plays out, the target for this to the downside is around 25,800 or so. So we can call it $26,000. It's just 100% in play right now. And it's on the screen. There's nothing more to it. What I want to say is, if you want to see this get busted, if you want to see this not transpire, if you don't want to see this head and shoulders, you would take the swing high that we previously had to our new swing low, this bullish kind of bounce that Bitcoin recently put in, and you chart a Fibonacci area, right? So that support or that resistance area that we want to see Bitcoin break sooner than later, right? We would love just to see this happen very quickly, is this Fibonacci resistance. And that would be right around $37,600 to $39,600. If Bitcoin can essentially make a continued move to that upside, that will be extraordinarily good for Bitcoin. Really kind of the first step in washing away this potential head and shoulders. So that's what we're watching. And this is what we're watching literally in the short term. Now, the other thing I just want to mention, and I'm going to dig into actually what this looks like on the hourly chart in a minute. But let's get rid of some of these lines. And there's other things happening on this chart, right? So I have symmetrical triangle and ascending triangle. You can see on the screen over there. So symmetrical triangle would very much be this swing high right here. And this is speculative. If we get a symmetrical triangle, we could see potential short-term resistance here at this Fibonacci we just talked about. That could be a swing high. Bitcoin comes back down and falls into this symmetrical triangle. So Bitcoin could be forming this right now, right? So we trickle up, come back down, we're trickling back down, and then we're setting up a symmetrical triangle. Now, the breakout target for a symmetrical triangle, depending on when it would set up and when it would break out, probably, I mean, it would be 50,000 to 55,000, somewhere in that range. Now, the ascending triangle, also speculative, is this swing high, and it's this blue trend line that we have up here. Is Bitcoin going to test this swing high back here around $42,000 once again, right? So is Bitcoin getting ready to make a move to that area, to this upper trend line area around $42,000, and put in an ascending triangle? And this could look like something like this, coming back down, going into the apex, finally, boom, to the upside. And that target will be around $55,000 if it truly comes to fruition. The symmetrical triangle, we can move that down. The height is the same, and we're looking at right around 51,000. So a couple targets potentially in this speculative, in these speculative triangles, $50,000 to $55,000 targets for continuation to the upside. Now, if we go to the hourly, I want to dig in even more. How can we at least get these moves to kind of come into play, right? These bullish moves. And this is exactly what you need to watch on the short term. This is the short-term move that you want to see for Bitcoin. And that is this. Right now, we zoom in on the hourly. This is what's transpiring. Now, here's this, and this is actually, if we go back to the support that Bitcoin is seeing at this Fibonacci support, this is what it looks like here on the charts. And it's very clear. We have a potential true ascending triangle now in play on the very short term, right? This is a smaller one, but it's in play. We have this touch to right around 36,300, another touch right around 36,300 or so. We have this initial swing low, a higher low, and we have an ascending triangle in play right now. We're kind of just looking for one more touch to the upside. So it would be great if Bitcoin can make a move to that $36,400 area. The breakout target for this ascending triangle is $43,800. That would be a new all-time high for Bitcoin. And in doing so, Bitcoin would be kind of breaking all of this stuff that's happening that we just speculatively talked about. So we have more of a true pattern truly in play right now. And what we want to continue to look for is this. We have this initial swing low that starts this ascending triangle to the swing high. And you can see Bitcoin, just a perfect bounce, perfect higher low off of the Fibonacci retracement. And we want to see continuation of that right now. And that is the Bitcoin bulls with upward momentum. So from that swing low to swing high, we put in that support here. Now we want to see a new swing low right here to wherever the swing high is. It could be right here as I do the video. It could be the upper trend line of the ascending triangle. And then we want to see continued higher lows is what we're looking for. So if Bitcoin right now can make a move up to this area, 36,300, 36,400, come back down, that's fine, but we want to see a test of support at this higher low area, also confluent with the lower trend line. So if you haven't noticed, what we're doing right now is we're speculatively watching for the next setup for Bitcoin. And along the way on this hourly chart, we're all watching these hourly charts, we're getting clues, right? And this is, as we have these patterns being set up, what you want to watch for is these new trend lines being broken to the upside or downside. So we have this trend line to the upside, and we have a trend line right here to the downside. If you start seeing Bitcoin, if it comes back down and it's not putting in a higher low and it breaks this trend line, this is when you have to be careful. And this is why we do technical analysis. We watch for these types of consolidations for Bitcoin. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to watch for these trend lines. And right now, to give you an idea of what it looks like, price range wise, where Bitcoin is right now, we are around, 6 to 7% from the lower trend line support to the upside. We are from testing a trend line, a true trend line, only a 3% move for Bitcoin to test this upper trend line on this very short-term chart. Now notice what is just above this trend line. And these are these stepping stones to bullish confirmation, everybody. If Bitcoin can make a move through this trend line, right above it is this Fibonacci resistance. Now that Fibonacci resistance, once again, just to remind you and show you, zooming out on the chart, is simple. It is the swing high, the all-time high Bitcoin put in to that previous swing low we just got, and it's our current resistance area. This is the area we want to break to make sure that this head and shoulders that we just talked about, and let me just show you, left shoulder, head, potential right shoulder. This is the area we want to break to make sure that doesn't happen, right? So Bitcoin, going back to that hourly chart, is potentially in play on its way to testing this area. So that's what I'm going to be watching on the immediate short term. It truly is an urgent area to watch as Bitcoin's really getting squeezed now into a consolidation area. From lower trend line to upper trend line, Bitcoin's in around a 10% margin of consolidation. And when that happens, and this is in an environment where Bitcoin's making really big moves very quickly. So we have to continue to watch Bitcoin on this hourly chart. This is probably the most important chart to watch, at least that I'm watching for Bitcoin. I want to see what it does. I want to see how it interacts with these trend lines. It's guaranteed one of these trend lines is getting tested very soon. And that will be our first step for consolidation. I do want to talk about this. We talk about that just ugly head and shoulders, right? Which, it's not 100% in play, but we talk about that. But if it does come to fruition, the head and shoulders on the daily chart, I just want to show you where that target is right down here. This is what it looks like on a macro level, right? That target is right down there. And as you can see, the target is just above the blue ocean. That is the 50-day moving average. And Bitcoin, we just know, gets pulled back to that area time and time again. It's something to anticipate. We go all the way back to the bull market. You can see Bitcoin just revisiting that blue ocean over and over again on its way up to all-time highs, right? So this isn't the first time we've been here. Bitcoin's in a parabolic environment, and we're overextended from the 50-day moving average. We were overextended almost 70%, right? And we we always talk about overextension, being careful. And let me zoom in here so you can see this. But look how much overextended Bitcoin is now. At one point, we were only 20% overextended in that huge dip. And now we are right around 41% overextended. And actually at that dip, the time of that dip, we were, let's see, just about 24%. So Bitcoin has absolutely consolidated, but just keep in mind this area down here, that is the target for the head and shoulders if it plays out. And it's just something you should all be very prepared for and just keen to watch for. I want to go to the weekly chart and I want to talk about something extremely, extremely important, confluent with everything we've just talked about. Bitcoin on this macro chart. If you're new to this channel, you may not have just heard me talk about the Fibonacci bull market doors, the macro bull market doors over and over again, just for a while now on this YouTube channel. But swing high, bull market high, bear market low, and we have the bull market doors right there, the green channel. It's the 618 to 786 on the macro. When Bitcoin broke this in November, the bull market has started. The bull market has ensued, right? And we are more at the beginning. If you compare it to last cycle, this is what it looks like last time. 2013 high to the 2015 low, Bitcoin breaking the bull market doors. And what I want to talk about is the similarities right now in this move that Bitcoin made on the weekly chart, kind of in May, June, July, right here, to what is kind of transpiring right now. So back here, this was a consolidation. Bitcoin consolidated to $1,800, $1,900 before continuation to 20,000. Now notice where it consolidated to. This is extremely bullish and important. This line right here, this is the 1618 line of the macro Fibonacci of these bull market doors. Now, simultaneously, Bitcoin right now, as I do the video, I don't know how this is going to transpire. I don't know if support will hold. If Bitcoin makes a move to the downside to that head and shoulders target, for instance, this won't hold. But right now, Bitcoin has bounced exactly off of the 1618. And we use Fibonacci because it is just a true picture of numbers on the screen. It's a true picture, even in volatile environments, especially in volatile environments, but it's Bitcoin revisiting certain areas to test and to give us confirmation. And the tool is probably my favorite tool. I talk about it all the time on this YouTube channel, but it's just because it's so consistent. I mean, we were able to identify the entry and anticipate the entry into bull market doors just for so long, right? As we analyze the Bitcoin cycles. And so right now, Bitcoin has tested the 1618 line on a macro level. That's incredibly important. And we want to watch that area. Currently, that 1618 line, $30,000, $30,400 or so is what we're looking at. So right now, all in all, I would say you want to watch Bitcoin. Probably, obviously, you want to kind of see how the setup on the zoomed out 6 hour goes. This is going to take a little patience, right? Even if we go to the apex of this very speculative symmetrical triangle, the apex is like January 16th, right? That's 4 days away. What's going to happen in that time? You know, are we going to get a move to the upside where we do test a trend line and kind of start putting in a true symmetrical triangle, 15% move for Bitcoin, and then we get rejected? Or is Bitcoin going to make even a stronger move from where it is right now, 20% to the upside to an ascending triangle upper trend line? 100% in play, but this is a 6 hour zoomed out. So if you're really truly interested in the short-term moves of Bitcoin, this is the chart to watch. And this is everything that's really transpired as of lately, which is the swing low, a new higher low, and Bitcoin truly in kind of an ascending triangle setup. So watch this upper trend line sitting right around 36,300. Not far away. It's a $1,300 move for Bitcoin. Can happen in a matter of minutes, and then down to support right now, right around 32,700. That can also happen in a matter of minutes. So somebody in the chat said, "What will the structure be? What will it look like?" And time will tell. I'm just here to speculate with you. I'm here to track it with you. I'm here to watch it with you. I will say this, at the end of the day, number one, this is healthy, right? Bitcoin needed this. And if you zoom out on the charts, it's been happening. Exactly what has transpired since we broke 10,000, but even since we broke 20,000, we've had these consolidation areas where people kind of are freaking out a little bit. Like, oh no, was that the top? There's guaranteed a ton of people that are shorting Bitcoin right now. There's so many people shorting Bitcoin, and they might be in for a rude awakening if the continued pattern, which is very clear on the screen, continues to the upside, right? And it very well could. The similarities and the harmony that you see in the charts just from this last 20% dip we saw, putting in a swing low to a higher low before explosive move to just, $42,000 is very similar right now. Swing low to a key Fibonacci support, higher low, and we can very well in the hours or days ahead be ready for an explosive move to the upside. And we have our targets. They're on the screen for these potential setups that Bitcoin's putting in. $50,000 to $55,000 targets could be the next all-time high for Bitcoin. And truly, it's around a $15,000 to $20,000 move for Bitcoin. And I could be doing a live stream in a week from now talking about Bitcoin at $50,000 and what does support look like, right? I could be doing a video like that in a week from now, 5 days from now. We see how quickly this can happen. Bitcoin's at $35,000 right now. And everybody, it was just a few weeks ago. It felt like a few weeks ago, months ago, I should say, right? But Bitcoin's, we're wondering, is Bitcoin going to stay above $10,000? This wasn't that long ago. And now we're at $35,000 area. So let's see. I love how I'm doing a live stream and Bitcoin's just like doing nothing. How non-exciting is that, everybody? I appreciate all you cruising by today. If you're here right now, if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to beat Bitcoin to 100,000. And hit that like button as well if you got any value out of this video. I'm getting back to work. I'm recruiting for startups. I need to go run this business. But trust me, the charts are open. If Bitcoin makes a crazy move, I'll do another live stream. I'm going to be tracking this live. So hit the subscribe, turn the notification bells on so that we can track this thing live. If Bitcoin makes a meaningful move to this upper trend line, to the lower trend line, you better believe I'll be live again. We'll be tracking this. If you've super chatted, I really, truly appreciate you. Just to give you a note, all super chats are going to WEQNT. They're a Cardano staking pool. Stake your Cardano with there if you have Cardano. But they use profits, some of their profits from their pool to send solar power bulbs to parts of the world that don't even have light, everybody. So super chats are going there. It's an awesome mission. Denicio doing some awesome work for God. And go follow him and link up with him if you're in Cardano. But otherwise, let's see how this chart plays out for Bitcoin. Appreciate you all cruising by. Have a great day today. Let's see what Bitcoin does, everybody. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.